guys to another episode of Eye of Terror. As you know, I'm your channel host, Adam, and today I have with me, starting on this side,
Mick,
Ben,
Brooke,
and Sam.
And we are playing, or they are playing, I should say, a total of 2,000 points Battle Report Open War. And so on one side here, we have the brothers playing.
we have Astra Militarum and
Tempestus Scions.
Ooh, interesting. So a little bit of
Fluffy.
And hold on, wait, there's more.
Ecclesiarchy, whatever they changed his name to.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's just
Imperium is what matters.
Sure.
So you're all Imperium.
Yeah.
And on this side, we got
1,000 points of Death Guard.
Death Guard.
Yeah, and 1,000 points of World Eaters.
Ooh, interesting. So Chaos versus Imperium. So both each player is doing 1,000 points
1,000
each,
points, yeah.
and then we haven't even rolled or pulled out the scenarios yet because we are doing the open war. So we'll be drawing those cards next. So I'll show you the armies, pull the cards for the mission, and get right into the game. All right, guys. So starting off here, we're gonna start choosing the objectives, and that for open war. So we need the first card. And it is the objective card. And we have Burn and Pillage. So the player rolls off, starting with the winner. They then take it in turns to set up 3 objective markers, each anywhere in their own deployment zones that is more than 6 inches from other objective markers and any battlefield edge. A player can burn and pillage any enemy objective markers that they control at the end of the turn. Remove them when they do so. The first player to burn and pillage all 3 enemy objective markers wins the battle. Next up is deployment. Let's see what type of deployment we have. Who's drawing this one? Mick, yeah?
That's right.
All right. And we have that style of deployment, sort of like a wedge shape in the center. And lastly, but not least, we have the twist. What is it going to be? Brooke, go ahead. Cutting the deck again. And we have Eager for the Fight. Add 2 inches to the movement characteristics of all models and 1 to all advance and charge rolls. That's pretty interesting. It's going to get bloody. Alright, so because Brooke and Sam have less power points than Mick and Ben, they're going to draw a ruse card, and we're going to find out what it is.
Don't reveal this.
That one there.
You guys have really good armies.
And this here is the ruse card for Sam and Brooke. So it should be pretty interesting to see how it plays out. Come back, show you the armies next. Here we are with the 2,000 points of Chaos today. So Brooke, why don't you walk us through what you and Sam are playing?
So we each have a battalion.
Yeah.
So in this battalion, the World Leaders Battalion, he has a Demon Prince with Axe. Not that it's very good, but it was modeled that way, so it's going to be WYSIWYG. So yeah, he's got the Axe and 1 Talon, and then he's got wings as well. And then over here we have Karn, the Betrayer.
Awesome.
So he's going to be leading the group of berserkers here.
Yeah.
So there's 1 squad of 7. They are not all WYSIWYG. I paid for chain axes on every single berserker model.
Okay.
But there is an icon of Wrath here.
Yeah.
So squad of 7 in a Rhino.
Yep.
Then we have 2 squads of 5,
Yep.
all with chain axes in another Rhino.
Yep.
And then we have a Predator here with the 4 las cannons.
That's awesome.
And then
Over
moving
here, we got the Nurgle guys.
So moving on to Death Guard here, we have another Demon Prince. This
Yep.
guy has both Malefic Talons. Then we have Typhus,
Yep.
everybody's favorite. Then we have 3 squads of zombies for the troop choices. So we have a squad of 19,
Yep.
a squad of 20, and a squad of 19.
Back there.
And then in the heavy slot, we have a Predator with 4 las cannons as well. And then we have the blow drone.
Awesome, looking good. That's 2,000 points of Chaos. Here we are with the first 1,000 points of the 2,000 points of Imperium. So, Mick, why don't you walk us through what Ben's playing here?
This is what Ben's playing. So we have a battalion
Yeah.
of mixed sisters and scions. We have Celestine,
Yeah.
a Canoness with an Eviscerator and a Hand Flamer, a
Okay.
Combi Flamer, sorry. A Ministorum Priest,
Yeah.
5 Death Cults, 2 separate squads of sisters with a Heavy Flamer
And a Flamer.
Flamer.
Nice.
10 scions with 4 hotshot volley guns, plasma pistol, I believe a power sword as well.
Yeah.
Another 10 with 4 plasma guns, plasma pistol, and a power sword.
Yeah.
A Tempestor Prime with the command rod. And these 2 Hellhounds, which are counting as immolators, which I assume the sisters will be riding in.
That sounds awesome. So we'll go over to your army next. And so over here we have Mick's 1,000 points of IG. So why don't you walk us through?
All right, we have a battalion and
Yep.
a spearhead detachment. The battalion is led by Commissar Yarrick.
I love the standard, by the way, that you did on there.
He looks better holding it, I think.
I agree.
We have 4 troop choices, 4
Okay.
infantry squads with plasma guns and plasma pistols, each
Okay.
of them. 2 company commanders with bolt guns. 1 astropath behind Yarrick there.
Right back there, yeah.
Also an Eversor assassin. He's counting as an Eversor.
That guy back there.
Yes,
He's
the-
still in
the
disguise.
Desperado, exactly.
Yes.
Then in the spearhead, we have a tank commander with the Punisher Gatling cannon,
Okay.
2 multi-meltas, and a las cannon.
Oh my goodness.
He's packing a lot of heat there.
Yes,
We
yes.
also have a basilisk, another basilisk, and 2 heavy weapon squads with 3 mortars each.
Interesting. So we will come back with deployment next. And just so you guys know, we are doing a short sort of form battle report instead of filming all the dice rolls. We're going to come back for the important dice rolls and then do recaps at the end of the round. Here we are showing off the board that these guys are playing on today. So it is a 4x6 board. Where did you get this mat from again, Mick? It's
Playmats.eu.
EU. Interesting. So it's a double-sided vinyl mat that was all rolled up. So we have a ruined city that has already been burnt and pillaged, which sort of fits in with the theme in the scenario. So you have the church over there, and then all the other buildings, or the cathedral, sorry, over there, and then all these ruined buildings. So if you're inside the footprint of the building, which there are no footprint like floor pieces, but if you're within that sort of squared off section, your vehicle, you're going to get the cover as long as you're 50% obscured through the rules. The same with like the footprint over here. If you're totally within that footprint, you'd be and 50% obscured. Holy crow! Obscured, discovered. I was going discovered, and I don't even. Wow! Obscured, and you're in that footprint, then you get your cover bonus as well. So that is the board that they're setting up on. So we'll come back after their deployment. Mick and Ben go first. Here we are. Deployment has completed. Mick and Ben, why don't you walk us through what you did for your deployment with the Imperial side of this army? Or
Well,
battle.
Right. As you can see, we put 2 of our objectives here and left them almost completely undefended.
Except for 1 heavy weapons team.
1 squad of mortars,
Yep.
which we expect to hold them.
So hold those
well.
guys off.
You see, we put our last one here thinking
Yeah.
that Sam and Brooke would be expecting us to deploy everything over here to defend these.
Yep.
Because the mission only ends if you lose all your objectives.
That's
so
right.
2 are expendable.
Yep.
Maybe it'll backfire horribly, or maybe it'll work very well.
Maybe. We do have a whole bunch of guys in here. So do you have any deep striking units or anything like that?
Yes, if you look over here, well, this is what
Whoa.
we have. The Death Cults and Sisters are in transports right
Okay.
now. They are in reserve.
And those guys are in reserve to deep strike. Sounds good.
And our Eversor
Is also...
is in reserve.
Alright, sounds good. I'll see what the Chaos side did for their deployment next. Oh, here we are with the Chaos deployment. So why don't you guys walk us through where you have what, where, and why?
We fell for the bait and switch.
The bait and switch.
They started with deploying units in the space, so we
Space.
placed 2 Khorne Berserker transports with Karn
Yeah,
here because we figured they were going to heavily defend that, which they
absolutely. That makes sense.
Hopefully we have some sort of card which allows us to redeploy. Then here we have a Predator with, it's things guarding
Yeah.
the first objective over here. We have a
Yeah.
Demon Prince over here, which is to counter-deploy his mortars.
Right
Then
there, yeah.
Basically my plan was to put a zombie squad on each objective.
So that way they can sort of keep it. Yep.
Exactly. So big zombie squad in the middle of the cathedral holding the Chaos icon.
Yep.
We put Mr. Demon Prince of Khorne right up front where he wants to be. We got the bloat drone kind of holding
Flying
the
around
front
there.
line as well. Second second Predator with his las right there. And another squad of zombies. All of this was also keeping in mind that 9-inch bubble from behind us. So hopefully if
That's
if
dangerous.
they seize initiative on us, they won't be able to deep strike behind anyone.
And you also have Typhus in
Yes, he's right over here, just chilling.
reserve as well.
Yeah.
All right, that is the Chaos side. So why don't we finish off
Seize the initiative?
Seize the Initiative
Yeah.
and deployment?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Seize the initiative.
Here we go.
Nothing. So Brooke and Sam did have the ambush card, as you saw earlier, for deployment purposes. So they redeployed their 2 predators on this side to sort of get better line of sight over here on those vehicles. And Karn and his Berserkers, yes, have redeployed over on that side instead of being over in no man's land over there. So with that said, we'll come back at the end of top of round 1. Yeah. We're here at the end of the first round for the Chaos players, Brooke and Sam, and they've put out a bit of damage, actually. So the zombies, poxwalkers, just sort of spread out a little bit. These ones sort of stayed contained all where they are. Those guys spread out.
They get to move 6 inches because base 4, but then they get +2 because of
the twist. Yeah. So over there we got the Demon Prince that flew up and assaulted into the mortars, and the Rhino with the with Karn and no, not Karn. Sorry, it was those are just the Berserkers that are in there.
Yeah. So the Demon Prince moved up his 14 inches.
Yeah.
And then he cast Warp Time, which allowed him to move 14 inches again.
That's right. And then he charged.
And he assaulted and killed the squad of 3 mortars.
Woohoo! Over here though, this Predator, it did some crazy damage because there was a Immolator sitting all the way back here, tucked up against that wall that he had line of sight on, and you did what, 4 wounds to it, and then
3 wounds.
3 wounds.
He saved 1 on a 6-up.
That's right.
And then he rolled
2
2
went
sixes.
through, and yeah, 2 6s take out the Immolator round 1.
Did not blow up.
So then combat's over there. We got that Immolator that is locked into combat with the Death Cult Assassins. And the Priest in there does have some damage on it, but it will be the Imperium's turn next to see if they can retaliate. Come back after the bottom, or end of round 1. It was a pretty solid turn for the forces of the Imperiums. The Basilisk over here put in 10 wounds onto that Predator. But really, what made the Imperium shine was the assaults and the shooting into the Demon Prince and Karn and the Berserkers that are no longer there.
Berserkers are dead. Karn is dead.
Karn is dead.
Demon Prince held his own, though.
The Demon Prince interrupted and did kill off the cannoness that was on him.
And the
blow drone was blown up and exploded and did the 1 mortal wound to everybody within 7 inches. So pretty much everybody that's down there had somebody damaged or taken off. So going into the top of turn 2, Chaos next. Here we are in the combat phase for the Chaos and turn 2. The Nurglings. The Poxwalkers and zombies have ran up and tied into these Imperial Guards here. And over here, Matt Damon, followed by Ben Affleck, have charged. Oh, I mean Damon Prince, Khorne Damon Prince, and Nurgle Damon Prince have charged into those vehicles right there. And then that Commissar heroically intervened into the Nurgle Damon Prince. So, we'll see what happens at the end of the combats coming up soon. So this Commissar here heroically intervened into the Nurgle Damon Prince, and then the Ben and Mick decided to use 2 command points to intervene, or to interrupt the charge, or the assault, and decided to assault into this Damon Prince here. And then did 1 wound, which the Demon Prince failed to save, rolling a 1. Then they chose to do a command roll, reroll.
Another 1.
That's right. That Demon Prince was slayed by that Commissar. Good job. End of turn 2 for the Chaos. Demon Prince did how many points damage to the Basilisk?
2, but he
Two.
saved it on a 5-up.
Yep.
And then he put his other 4 attacks into
The commissar,
and
or
chopped his
the
head off.
command, sorry,
The company
company command and
The
chopped his
hero
head off.
chopped
Yeah, the hero that took out the other Daemon Prince.
Well,
then
Ben Affleck was really mad.
that's right. And then over here we have these zombie hordes that piled in on the one unit here, obliterated them, and then they had one left, which they failed their morale. And then these guys failed their morale as well and lost 4 more, so leaving 1 left there. On top of that, the hordes are getting bigger, even though they were sort of cut back with counterattacks by Saint Celestine and that. But we'll see what happens at the end of the Imperial round 2. Here we are at the end of round 2 for the Imperial players. So both the Poxwalker units have been drastically shrunk, because that is the dead pile from that turn, or this turn. The Daemon Prince back here that was starting in the tanks, it was shot to pieces by a lot of shooting, then Yark came in.
Steward.
Yeah.
And then Yark
So,
skewered him.
and then everybody else just over here was like flaming into the Poxwalkers and that. And then over here, these Scions blew up that one Predator that was there. These guys shot into the Poxwalkers, did I think minimum damage as well. 1 wound? So they only did 1. Oh, I see. So this is what the board looks like. We will come back with turn 3 Chaos next. Things are getting thin. Here we are at the middle of round 3. The Poxwalkers have started moving towards that last objective of the Imperials there, but do have to get through the Sisters and Saint Celestine as well as the 2 tanks. Over here, the Khorne Berserkers ate up another unit of guard and then charged into the Immolator with their second charge action from that ability. The Rhino over here also charged into it, ended up doing 1 wound, but failed it, I think, in total, or 1 hit and then failed to wound. Typhus is supporting back here, and these Scions, I guess, we'll see what happens with them next. End of round 3, these guys moved up and shot into the Poxwalkers here, taking out a bunch of them as well. These guys, I think, shot into that Predator, as well as that Rhino, and into the... there was 1 Poxwalker that was remaining while they were shooting, so they took it out. And then everybody else just flamed them. They all contributed shots into the Poxwalkers. And then they also took out a couple of the Berserkers back there during the shooting phase, from shooting from the Leman Russ. And then during combats, Saint Celestine and the Priest charged into a 5-man squad of Berserkers over there, took out 2, and then the Priest ended up succumbing to the wounds from the Berserkers. So that is the end of round number 3. Welcome, guys, to the After Action Report. You just saw our quick video match of Imperium with Ben and Mick up against Chaos with Sam, Honorless, and Brooke. And so when we came to the end of the game, we got 3 rounds in within our time frame, and everybody, I think, is pretty much exhausted now.
It's a draw.
And it's a draw. So there was a bloodbath between Chaos and the Imperium. The Imperium, if it went longer, I think would have taken it eventually, because they had the
7.
Yeah, because they had the gunpowder still and everything else, right? With your Leman Russ and your Scions, stuff like that, where Chaos, even though they were getting all the zombies and that, just weren't able to fend it off. That's unfortunate. But you did have another zombie pack at the back that could have changed things slightly, maybe later on. Who knows? So
Would have held that last objective for quite some time.
Yeah, exactly. So that is it. You guys had fun?
We did.
Yeah,
great.
guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.